Hey there, Pisces. I had to give myself a minute to get my voice back. Still have the stuffed up nose. I ain't going nowhere till I get this dealt with. So I see him in a week. So that's good. Get that arranged. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at your monthly for February. This is for all Pisces. Pisces ascendant. Your moon in Pisces, I would say that that's more your emotions. Remember, your moon is your home. It's more your base, maternal, where you've come from, what you are part of. Your sun is your career. And oftentimes working through issues about paternal male. Not always, but it is. Let me just check and see, Pisces. What's going down? So one of the things that's really interesting in here, that's really quite interesting ahead, is you've got the aspect about friendship in here. So going over friendships from the past. And, you know, Pluto moving 12th house for you, Pisces, I've already mentioned this. It can actually drum up things from the past. It can, because you have Saturn, Capricorn is in the constellation of Pisces, it can mean a few things. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But the thing you've got here is actually healing. And this is something you're working on right now, is healing. And sometimes, you know, Pisces don't really recognize even what it is. They don't know why they're going through what they're going through. Why am I feeling this? Why am I feeling the way I am? Well, remember, we're talking February 1st for the month of February. So this may not be fully understood at the moment. You have maybe have gone over since Saturn was there, and then Saturn retroactively with a retrograde went all the way back to the beginning and started again around the 20th, 21st of February. So it had moved inward into the sign of Pisces, and it moved all the way back to the beginning of going over it again. So you've got this element in here about that with friendship, and then this aspect of, like I said, the next thing is that right now you're going through healing. Now, friendship and healing are really one in one, because sometimes it can mean you come to a sense of understanding about yourself with Pluto in your 12th house this next 20 years, where you start realizing, you know, I need to really reevaluate what the term friendship means. I need to really reevaluate, who am I trying to impress? What is this all about? If you love something, then love it. If you love it because you're worrying about what other people think, if other people are going to judge you, then that means you're standing in a pretty damn serious, insecure station in the world. You know, it comes down to finally putting your foot down and saying, I'm going to be completely unorthodox, and I don't give a damn what anybody thinks. I'm going to do as I wish. If I want to be top-notch, you know, Milan in regards to sophistication and style, do it. But don't go on about it, and don't look for attention from it. Do it because it is who you are. So you're kind of owning, Saturn's getting you to own who you are. And that's going to go on for 2 more years. You've got Pluto in your 12th house, though, for 20 years. And then it's going to move to Pisces. So be ready for that. It's 20 years from now, so that's a long time. Now, the thing that's directly ahead of you is abundance. So this is actually really, really good for you guys, Pisces. So it means that something's going to happen. Something's going to give. I mean, you know, maybe the universe is going to bestow on you an opportunity. Maybe, you know, you're being asked to participate. Abundance isn't always about money. People think, oh, it's a load of money. Remember, we started with friendship, and then we're jumping to abundance. I would say, you know, you're really recognizing, you know, you're going into your 12th house tomorrow as well, because I'm doing this on the 19th, so tomorrow is the first day of Aquarius. And, you know, you got 12th house stuff, so it's usually sort of hidden, you're a bit sleepy, you really don't have as much energy as you're going to have after the 19th, 20th of February. I would say the healing could be about what's now, meaning you to work on yourself, take care, be careful you don't get sick, be careful of being around people that are sick. Are you, you know, connecting to that? Are you linking yourself to that? Just be aware of that. If you're in that field, there's nothing you can do about it. If you're touching things, you know, people go to gyms or work out or have trainers, you're touching things that people are not well touching. So make sure you clean that stuff up before you use it. And then you've got this abundance thing. So I would say by the time we hit your birthday forward, the end of February, you're pretty bloody excited about something. Now, Saturn can bestow on you opportunity. Saturn's not going to have Pluto there as this sort of conjunct link to it being in the constellation of Pisces. Now, that will return again around your full moon, just after your full moon in Pisces, which is the end of August. It'll return for another few months till the middle of November. So you're going to go through a little bit more of Saturn pulling back and having a link to Saturn in Pisces this fall. But for right now, you can make a lot of plans, a lot of changes, a lot of dynamic things. The abundance element in the reading means that there can be some really dynamic energy come into play. after we get through into the end of the month and we step into Pisces. So look forward to that type of positive energy. So let's go on now to do with just the general sort of overview, Pisces, of what is going on. What is happening? Right at the beginning of the reading in here, there's an individual that is going to go through illness. There's a man going through illness, or it could be a woman too. And if it's a woman, I would say that she's far more an assertive, aggressive type. If it's a man, he's kind of I would say he's the fire of water. He's fiery, kind of like my grandpa was a Leo with moon in, excuse me a second. My grandpa was a moon in, sorry about that. My grandfather was moon in Cancer, but he was a Leo. And he was actually, my mother said he was ferocious. This is my biological grandfather. But I don't really think he was that bad that I knew. I think he was mad. Look the hell out. He was a Leo. Or he was drinking scotch. Look out. But anyway, all I can say is that there's a gentleman at the beginning of the reading. And you've got this element in here about home environment. And as I said, if it is a woman, she is a pretty feisty woman. But there's a lot going to go on in here. And first thing that starts in here is, medical health. So who is it that is at this stage of their experience that's affiliated to your life that really can't keep things going? I would say what's happening in here is that there's a whole overview of your life, Pisces, about where do things go from here. You have this gentleman or the woman who's a very assertive woman, either. It could be the feminine and masculine and feminine. You have home environment, you have changeability, you have discussions over finance. What do we do? Where do we go from here? How can I keep things going? How can we keep things going? There's something, to me, is coming to a massive close. And I would say, Pisces, it's in your best interest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I would say it's in your best interest to move forth in your life. What you've got in here is that you've got this whole thing. It's almost like, when someone's trying to bail out a rowboat and the thing is sinking, and it's just, there's something that you can't see the other side yet, but the other side is actually really quite amazing, but you can't see that. And I would say, because you have that abundance there, you have that abundance ahead of you, that the transformations that will come about, that will start in February, could go all the way on till July. Something could drag on through March. I would say that you have a better idea of things come March, but something's dragging. You've got May in here, you've got July, but you have successful movement, you have transformation, you have ending. It's interesting, when I did the reading for Pisces before, I said you may also, over the summertime or this spring, go through some bad news with somebody young. And you have somebody younger in here going through something very difficult. I don't know what that is. So for some of you, it could be a pet. You might hear some bad news about a pet. Others of you, it could very well be somebody that's younger that goes through illness, goes through some kind of concern with something. But I would say, on an emotional level, 2024 is going to be a really intense year before we hit September, October. That is going to have to do with really, really changing your life and really trying to find out what it is that makes you tick and what you want. Saturn's going to do that. Saturn's the big mother, with that. And then you also have the eclipses going on in your money house, who you are, your image. That's Aries. That's the North Node, which is good. The South Node is more linked to do with who you owe money to, in regards to anything to do with debt. It has to do with, sometimes it has to do with feeling let down by those that you thought were supporting you and they don't. But I would say, really, your direction going forward is transitory, to say the least. The latter part of the year, from July through October and then to the end of the year, is going to be probably the biggest transitions. July right through till October 1st will be the ending, transition, conclusion, progressive movement. Then to the end of the year, you don't really know what to make of the future. You're thinking, I don't know what to make of the future. I don't know where to go from here. But remember, things will drastically change from that third week of November right through the end of the year, because Pluto will also be back in Aquarius. So you may have to be careful you don't jump to conclusions with July through October, because it's in two halves. The first part of third quarter is in two halves. So just be a little bit cautious. But it's interesting these next few months, you're up against a few things going on. You're up against this one individual that is a major primary player in your reading, and you got home environment changeability, and something's just not working the way you thought. Like something is just, I think the universe is also pushing you forward even though you don't want to. It's almost like there's this element of kicking and screaming in your life, and I think, Pisces, it's meant for you to move on. I think you're meant to go through this death and transformation and progressive movement, and you may not be happy about it, but you don't want to carry that type of garbage. It's a waste of time. You want to be able to move on and say, okay, fresh start. This is karmic. Saturn's here. Saturn's, paying this sense of urgency, control, telling you more or less what to do, and it's really quite important in regards to what's ahead. Now let me just see here this final thing, and again, I apologize about the sinus thing that I got constantly with this polyp thing. Yeah, you're beginning of your reading in here. See, it is more masculine than feminine. Concern, worry, or upset at the beginning of the reading. Sometimes we don't agree with other people's philosophies. People have their philosophy about life. They believe things should be done this way and that way only. And we believe, well, no, I think things should be this way. So you might find yourself up against real differences of opinion at the beginning of the reading. And, again, you're coming to an essence of closure and completion. What I do love about your reading again is this monetary scenario. And this could mean a few things. It could be money becomes, given to you by way of something worth more, or being offered that's worth more. And I think, in all honesty, if you stop yourself from the opportunities, you're actually making a mistake. Yeah, I mean, it's really quite important. Somebody younger again, you see? Somebody younger. And usually this represents either someone's pet that's under the age of 9 or a young person under the age of 9. Worry or concern, instability. Something happening. Either diagnosis that everybody's worried or upset about, or that everybody's on broken glass all the time. Like they're just worried that a shoe's going to drop, that a brick's going to drop, that something's not going to work. And first of all, there can be no aggression around this situation. If the situation is fraught with aggression, it's going to make things worse. It's like with my nephew when he was really diagnosed, I think, that he had autism. They didn't really know why he would behave the way that he does. And it's the same thing with a few other friends that have children that were, finally properly diagnosed as high-functioning Asperger's. Sometimes this isn't found out until later. And then they realize why there's such severe sensitivity, why the child isn't really listening or paying attention, why they're acting out. So I would just say, be aware of what's going on, pay attention to a lot of that, but understand that the choices and the offers and opportunities that you will go through February, through the next few months following, I think, in all honesty, are excellent. I don't think you're seeing the forest for the trees. I don't think you're seeing the opportunities that are ahead of you by way of stopping. And see, Saturn's also making you even more stubborn. And one of the things that I like about your reading is this direction moving forth, really listening to people to say, okay, this has got to be worked on, this has to be dealt with, this has to be resolved. Because to me, the resolution's leading to much more important things and more important things in your life. And you're still not necessarily 100% settled about things in your life, because as I said, that drags on even into the fall of 2024. But I would say, in all honesty, this is the direction to go in. You are worried, though. There's a bit of worry latter part of the year. I would still say somebody also that is, is it a relationship partner? Is it a parent? Somebody is really failing with they're not failing, they're not dying, but they're really showing their age, and you're really witnessing this. You're witnessing, okay, this can't go on. My father should have stopped his building business way before he did. And he pushed it to the point where his immune system and everything were already gone, and he was dead at 65. So I think, in all honesty, it's sort of paying attention to, wait a minute here. we really got to look at a new road. We got to look at a new way to carry things, to support things, to structure things, or family do, or we need to help, or whatever. Because to me, something's being pushed. It's like that elastic band being stretched just too far. And if it goes any further, trouble's coming. Anyway, you heard it here first. I hope you guys do well. Be positive no matter what. And recognize that it would have been great to be given a ticket to be on Titanic, but I don't know if I would have wanted to be on it. So sometimes what we think we need and the things we want, a lot of people with a lot of money died on that boat. It didn't matter if you were poor or wealthy. You know, you were in the same terrible situation that was bestowed upon them. So in life, you want to understand that sometimes in life you have to really reassess, especially with Saturn there. What is it in life that I'm fighting for? What is it I want? What are we trying to keep going with or keep doing? If people are pushing, let's keep paying a mortgage, let's keep doing this, and they're at a stage of their life where they're really, really trudging through muck. So you want to get into this understanding that Saturn's teaching you with these eclipses in both of your money houses. So you're relinquishing the external to take control yourself. Something's going down. Some Pisces will leave a career that they are being paid by, and they will set up their own business. They will start to self-represent. They will do something again. They will consult. They will take their, put their money where their mouth is and do something really quite dynamic. Be strong in your convictions. Pay attention to the energy that's presenting itself this winter. It'll start in February. You heard it here first. Keep well. And please subscribe, follow, and hit the little bell icon. And share it, please. And it'll help the channel grow. Keep well. Bye-bye.